Hey there everyone, this is Iram here and I hope that you all are doing well. So today we are going to create a Bootstrap 5 e-commerce web page. This is the first video on my channel of Bootstrap 5 in which we are going to create a e-commerce web page. So here is the overview of this web page. You guys know that what we are going to create. So here is the navigation bar. This is the carousel and with a title, subtitle, and this carousel is working. Okay, so you can see that it is moving and it is moving automatically to itself too. Okay, with the functionality. Here is the categories section and it has 3 categories with these buttons. Yes, let me show you that the nav bar also have some hover effect, and then it has a shop now section with a carousel and tabs. So you can see that here is a popular and this one is the latest. This is the carousel. It is working again in the popular section too. It is working with the price and the title of the wine. Then this is the services section. Here is the offers section, and this is the footer section with some useful links, about us, contact, and some social links. It is a responsive web page. Let me show you. Okay, so you guys can see that it is responsive, menu and slider, category section, shop section, again latest and popular, and this carousel is also working here. And this is the services section, today's offer section, footer section. So everything stacked nicely on top of each other. It's a very nice project, simple, and it is simple using Bootstrap version 5. So let me tell you, the images I've got in this section is from pexels.com. The keyword is wine bottle, and some of the images I've got from unsplash.com. Again, the keyword I've used is same, wine bottle. So the bottles or the images you are seeing on this web page I've got from Pexels and Unsplash. Okay, the size of the images here in this section, in this offers and shop now section, is 1920 by 1080. I'll give the size in the description below. You guys can choose the images of your own choice. Today I've seen this, it's a very beautiful bottle, but I've already added the images there with the size, so I'm not going to save it, but I like this one too. So let me close this one and this one too. Okay, now let's go back and start coding for this web page. It's almost it is made in a very bit of CSS is used, but most of the part of this web page is done in Bootstrap 5. Okay, let's create the file. Okay, index.html. Then I would like to create another one, which is going to be main.css. okay, so index.html and main.css. What I'm going to do first, here in index.html, here is a website from getbootstrap.com, Bootstrap website, getbootstrap.com. Go to docs, and here, getting started on the first page, what you guys are going to get from here is a starter template. Here is the starter template. Copy this code from here, go and paste it here. Okay, so here is the code, starter template. Then what I'm gonna, let me show you, save it, and by using my live server. Okay, so the starter template has a title of hello world and heading of hello world. What we are going to do, first of all, let's link our CSS link related to style sheet. href is gonna be main.css. Then the next we have to use the font awesome icons. So all of you know about my trick of having this CDN of font awesome icons. Sorry, and let me copy this one from here, and I want to paste it here. Then After having this font awesome icon, I would like to go with the font and Google Fonts. I would like to go with Lobster. Here is the Lobster, and I'm gonna use this one in the page. So let me get the link from here. I paste it here, and for CSS I would like to get this one from here, main.css, body selector. Let me paste it here, save it, and save it here. Now first of all, let's change the title. The title is gonna be e-commerce Bootstrap 5 tutorial. Okay, and here, just to check the font and everything is attached nicely to this, so let's say hello Bootstrap, save it, and here is the, so the font is attached nicely. The title is e-commerce Bootstrap 5 tutorial, hello Bootstrap. Okay, let me close this one now. We are not closing this Bootstrap website because we need help in further steps. So here we are. Now let me delete this one, and let me delete this optional JavaScript, choose one of two. Okay, so within this body section, let's start working with this. So first of all, let's start working with the header, and let's say end of header. I would like to go with the nav, and let's assign it a class. The class is gonna be Nav Bar, Nav Bar expand, large, Nav Bar light, BG dark, we're gonna use BG dark, background dark, and shadow class. Okay, all these classes are predefined in Bootstrap. Okay, let me show you this navbar thing. First of all, here in getbootstrap.com, go to the components section, and here if you go to the component section, you guys can see nav bar. Okay, so the nav bar, it has a bit of the changes they have made in the nav bar. It's not that much different with the previous from the previous version. And here is the code. Also, you can get the code. They have mentioned everything, the IDs and the classes. Okay, so everything is mentioned here. Don't worry that from where I got all these things. I got all these things from here. Whatever I'm gonna type, I got it from here. Okay, and it has the nav bar. It's telling about us about the brand, the text, images, if anybody want to use the image like in place of logo of the web page, and the nav bar expansion, each and everything about nav bar. Okay, I don't think that I need to explain it in more detail because we have already done with version 4, and it has not too much differences. Okay, then after this, let's have a div. Div is gonna have a class of container and display flags, justify content between, align items baseline, center, and within this div, let's go with a link as nav bar brand, and let's name it heading 1. Okay, and here it should have a href. Href is gonna be index.html. Fine, let's use span element here, span class. The class is gonna be text danger, and heading 4, we should name it wine, and another span. Let's define another span element, have a class of text white with heading 4, and here we have to say shop. Save it, go on to the browser. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can see wine shop. Okay, this is the dark background, and this is the nav bar. Okay, so after having this nav bar, what we have to do, we need a button, and for the button, let's go with the button element, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be nav bar toggler border 0, and type is gonna be button. Then here a bit of difference from 4 to 5, version 4 to 5 is data. Then we have to use BS is Bootstrap, toggle, okay, and collapse. This data BS toggle is, let me save it here and let me show you. This data BS toggle, okay, this data BS toggle is here, like the data Bootstrap toggle is here. You guys can see when you read the documentation, you're gonna find it from the documentation that they have used it here in the nav bar. So here nav bar, you can see that button class is nav bar toggler. We have used border also, and we said that but type of the button is in the type is button, then data Bootstrap toggle is collapse. So all these things I've got from here. Okay, here it has the definition here in the web page of Bootstrap 5. Then after this, what we have to do, we have to use the target. So after Bootstrap collapse, let's use data Bootstrap BS target, and it has an ID is gonna be nav bar toggler, nav bar toggler success. Okay, then after nav bar toggler success, the ID has to be in quotes. Okay, nav bar toggler success. Then we have to go with the ARIA controls, and nav bar supported content. Then we have to say ARIA expanded, that will be equal to false. Okay, so this nav bar supported content, it's also here. You guys have to read it, read this nav bar and each and everything from here, so you will find everything about the things we are using here. You're gonna find it from here. Okay, let me show you. Let me go here on top, and you can see here the IDs nav bar supported content. Okay, and then after this, after ARIA expanded, let's use the ARIA label. ARIA label, it's gonna be label, and it's gonna be toggle navigation. Okay, then after this, we have to use a span element, and it has a class. The class is gonna be Nav Bar toggler icon. Okay, Nav Bar toggler icon. Save it. Moving on to the browser here. So you guys can see that the toggler icon is here. Okay. Okay, so after having this Nav Bar toggler icon, let's create the nav links. For that, what we have to do, we have to create another div, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be align self center, and here is align self center. Collapse, nav bar collapse, flex fill. Then we have to say display large and flex. Then we use justify content large between. Hold on, justify content LG and between. Then we do need an ID, and ID is gonna be nav bar toggler success. Okay, nav bar toggler, this one, it has to be here, nav bar toggler success. Okay, after this, let's create another div here. Div is gonna have a class of flex fill mx xl 5 and mb 2. Then after this, we should go with the unordered list. The URL is gonna have a class. Class is gonna be nav, then nav bar nav display flex, justify content between. So justify content between, and then we have to go with mx xl 5. Text is gonna be center, and text would be dark. Within this, let's create a list item having a class. Class is gonna be nav item, and then we do have a link. Let's assign it a class. The class is gonna be nav link btn. That's called outline danger, and rounded fill padding on top, padding from top and bottom is gonna be 3. Then we do need a link here, but I'm not gonna have any kind of link. I'm not gonna mention anything, and let's see, home. Okay, then after this, let's copy and paste it for several times, not couple of times. Copy. The second one is gonna be categories, then shop now, services, special offers. Okay, so the first one is home, This one is gonna be categories. This should be shop now, and this one is gonna be services, and then we need special offers. Okay, then we need special offers. Save it, move on to the browser, and here are the image, the icon, nav links, sorry. Okay, it is nice. It has a nice effect because here we have mentioned that outline danger rounded pill. Okay, then after this, what we need is these social icons. Okay, and for these social icons we need another div, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be Nav Bar align, Nav Bar, and let's say align self-center display flags. Then we have to say that let's create a link, and it's gonna be nav link. Should have a link, and let's go with a font awesome icon class, and this is gonna be FAB Facebook. Text is gonna be danger, and let me copy this one a couple of times. And here in place of Facebook, let's go with Instagram, and it should be YouTube. Save it, move on to the browser. Here is our web page. So we do have the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Here we do have the social icons and the nav links. Okay, so we have done with the nav bar. Now let's go to the CSS and make these nav links white. So for this, here in main.css, let's go with nav link, and the color is gonna be white as we are overriding, so we need to use the important flag. Save it. Okay, so now it's looking good, better than before. Okay, then after this let me bring it here. Okay, and let's create this slider, the carousel, image carousel, and let's go back to the index.html. After that, hold on, just here. After this header, let's start hero section. And let's say end of hero section. So within this hero section, what we have to do, or the banner, within this banner, what we have to do, we have to go to the Nav Bar, the getbootstrap.com website. Again, here it has a carousel component. We are going to use this carousel component here from here, and it has different options. The first option is slide only. I'm not gonna use this one. Then with controls, of course I'm not gonna use this one. This one also not. I'm gonna use it with captions. Okay, so I'm gonna use this one, and for this I just want to copy the code from here, and let me paste it here. Okay, save it. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna change the images here. So first one, the first image is, the first image name is bg background 1 in my case .jpg. It's not here, sorry, source images and bg1.jpg. Then the second one is images, then bg2 background 2. Then the third one is gonna be images background 3. Save it, move on to the browser. Here is the browser, and yes, we do have the slider, the image 1, and here is the image 2. I think image 2 is bigger than the image 1. Yep. Okay, no problem. You guys can find the images according to your requirement. This is, I'm just using it for tutorial purpose. You can add the title, the subtitle here. Okay, so we have done with our hero or the banner section. Okay, now the next one is this category section. So categories of the month. Let's go back to the editor, and here, after having this one, let's go with let's start the categories section. So we should say categories section, end of the categories section. Here, what we have to do is to create a section element. Within this section element, let's have a class. Class is gonna be container fluid to make it responsive. Then py padding top and bottom is gonna be 5. I just name my category bg. We're gonna use it in CSS. Then we do have a div assigning it a class. Class is gonna be raw. Text center, and padding top is gonna be 3. Okay, let's use another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be column large 6, margin auto, and then we do need a heading 1. Heading 1 should have a class of text white. It's gonna be categories of the month. Then after heading 1, let's use a p element assigning it a class. The class is gonna be text white, and let's have some lorem ipsum of 15 words. Okay, save it. Moving on to the browser, let me show you. Yeah, we cannot see because the text is white. Okay, and the background is also white. So when we change the background, it will be visible. Go back to the editor, and here let's have another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be raw. Then another div assigning it a class. We should name it column 12, column medium 4, padding 5, margin top 3, and a link. So right now I'm not going to use any kind of link here, but I'm gonna use an image, and the source of the image is gonna be images and I'm gonna use image1.jpg. Let's have a class rounded circle, and to make this image responsive, I'm gonna use image fluid class, and after using the image fluid, let's use the border class. And okay, save it. Moving on to the browser. Okay, we do have an image and rounded circle. Okay, what we have to do next is to we have to add, hold on, heading 5 and having a class. The class is gonna be text center, text white, and empty margin top is 3, MB is gonna be, bottom is gonna be 3, and I just want to name it wine1. Okay, then we'll have a p element, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be text center, and within this, let's use a link, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be btn danger, rounded pill, not circle, rounded pill, and we should say shop now. In my hold on, we should go now. Go shop here in this dummy project. I have used go shop, so that's why I'm gonna use go shop here, and or shop now, whatever you guys want to use, you can. Okay, and then after this, what we have to do is to have another div, and it's gonna be here, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be column 12 md4. Hold on, I found a mistake here. This is medium 4. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I just want to copy and paste it from there, the same div, this div. Let me copy this, paste it here, and here in place of image1, let's add image2. It should be wine2. Save it. Let's check. Okay, then we do need another one, so I'm just pasting the same code, and here it should be image3 wine3. Save it, and here we are. Okay, so this image2 didn't look good here. I just want to change this image. It should be image 5. I don't know what's in image 5, but okay, it's looking good. Fine, we have done with this section also. The next thing we have to do is to go to the CSS and start working with the CSS of this categories section. And the CSS for this section is not that much. It has only a class of cat bg and category background, and we have to use background color. It's gonna be black. Save it. Okay, now it's looking good. Fine, cool. Okay, what we have to do next after having this one, let's go in this shop now section. It's gonna take some time, this shop now section. So let's go to the code editor and start working with this section. Okay, here in index.html, let's go to the next section, and this section is gonna be shop now section, and end of shop now. Okay, let's create a section here and assigning it a class py padding top and bottom gonna be 0, then padding bottom gonna be 6, and this background class we gonna use in CSS. Let's use an ID, and this ID is gonna be collections. Okay, now within this let's create a div, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be container. Then we use another div, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be raw, and height of this is gonna be 100. Then we have to use another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be column large 7, and margin top is also gonna be 7. Then we need a heading 5 with a class. This class is gonna be fs3 and fslg5, and these are the fonts. Okay, and then we have to see LH is gonna be SM small and MB0. Then text is gonna be uppercase, text white. Okay, let's name it shop now. Before moving on, let me use this background class here in our CSS. It would be easy for you to see because everything is going to be white, and the background, spelling of background class will help us. Let me show you. Okay, here, and we have a black background with this shop now title. Okay, then after this let's have another div, and for this let's go to a div, find it in class column 12, have a nav. What I'm gonna use here, same as we have in version 4 of Bootstrap. So here you guys can see navs and tabs. Okay, so I'm gonna use these navs and tab section from here, and I'm gonna use this one. Okay, for more detail or to know more about it, please read the code, and the details or the description added here in this section, component section. Okay, so the nav, I'm gonna use the nav, and then after within this nav element let's have a div, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be nav tabs, and I'm just naming it Nav tabs. I'm gonna use it in CSS, MB margin bottom 4, and justify content end. Okay, then I'm gonna use an ID. ID is nav tab. Okay, and the role of this is gonna be tab list. Let's use a button element here. It should say class. Class is gonna be nav link, and I should say active, and let's have an ID. This ID is gonna be nav latest tab, and then data bs bootstrap toggle, and it's gonna be tab, then data bs target, and it has an ID. The ID is gonna be nav latest. Let's have a type. Type is button. The rule of this is tab, the function. Aria is gonna be aria controls. Role is gonna be tab. Let's use the aria controls, and it's gonna be nav latest. Then aria selected. Aria selected is gonna be true. And here let's name this button, and it's gonna be latest. What I'm thinking to have, I am thinking to have another button. So for this, let me copy the same button, copy this, paste it here, and here in this button I just want to change few things. Where I have said that the button class is navlink active, I need to delete this active class from here. We need only one active button. Then we need this latest tab is gonna be popular, not populate, popular. And then here nav latest is gonna be nav popular, this ID popular. Again, this aria controls nav latest is gonna control with change with nav popular. And here aria selected, it is gonna be false. Save it. Okay, so let's go to the browser, and here, okay, the tab is working, but there is a problem, it's not latest. This is popular. Okay, fine. In CSS we will fix this issue. Okay, then now let's go and start creating this carousel. Okay, so for this I'm going back to the editor, and here in the editor, let me go back after this nav. Okay, so now let's create another div, and this div is gonna be it's gonna have a class. The class is gonna be tab content, and we should have an ID also. ID is gonna be nav tab content. Then let's have another div, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be tab pen. Say fade and show, and let's see active class, and have an ID. ID is gonna be nav latest, and on top we have these IDs. Then role is gonna be tab panel, and aria labeled by nav latest tab, spelling of labeled. Okay, nav latest tab, and then we need another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be carousel, and we have to have another class that's gonna be slide. Then we have an ID, and it's gonna be carousel latest. Again, data bootstrap ride, and we have to say carousel. Okay, then after have another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be carousel inner, and within this carousel inner, first of all, let me bring it here. Okay, carousel inner, let's have another div assigning it a class carousel item. Okay, so carousel item active. Let's use the data bootstrap interval. You guys can change it also, but I'm using 10,000 milliseconds, and it has to be in code. And then after we should use the another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna have a raw, and height is gonna be 100. Align items center. Let's use another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be column small 6, and call MD4 and MB3 margin bottom 3, and then we have to say MD0. Let's have another div assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be use a card, background black, text is gonna be white, padding 6, padding bottom 8, padding bottom 8, and let's add an image here. So the image is gonna have a class. Class is going to be card image, and source for this is gonna be images, image 7, and JPG. I'm thinking why it's not getting my image, if I've made any kind of mistake somewhere. Spelling of the source is fine, image class, source src, and okay, let's see, and alt is gonna be anything. Okay, first of all, let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's see. So here in the browser, okay, we do have a image. It got my image. Okay, then after this we have to go with another div. Okay, so within this div, let's have a class. The class is gonna be card image overlay, and I'm going to use effect class in CSS, then bg dark, and dark gradient, and then we have to use display flex column, and reverse flex column reverse, and let's use the alignment, and it's gonna be align items center. Fine. Then after this, let's use heading 6 and assign it a class. Class is gonna be text danger btn. Then we should say btn outline and light. Then we have to say rounded fill, and let's have some amount. It's gonna be $50. Save it, move on. Okay, so you can see that it has a $50. We need to fix all these other issues in CSS. Then after this, we need a heading 4. Heading 4, assigning it a class, and it's gonna be text danger. Let's use the name client, and here after this, let's have a if we're gonna link it. Okay, no need, so just leave it. Okay, save it, moving on to the browser. Here is the title. Okay, so we're gonna use this class, and then it will be understood. Right, it's fine until now. Okay, now let's use the other images, and for that, what we have to do, for the other images, we need to, let me just, for my convenience, a kind of a separation line I needed. Okay, and I need to have what I'm thinking to copy this and paste it another you know what, not here, sorry, I wanna copy this whole div. Hold on. Okay, just for the separation, what I'm gonna do is just to copy this div, and let me paste it here. But here, let me change the image. Should be image 5. Just see that. Okay, image 5 is almost same. Let's change the image. Could be image 1. Then just do. Okay, it's looking good. So if you guys want to change the name, go and change the names also. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna pasting it again, and I'm just gonna change the image. So image 3, save it. I'm just using the random images. Okay, okay, so what we have to do next, let's copy and paste this. First of all, just for my convenience, let me have it here, and what I'm gonna do is just to copy. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna copy. I just want to copy this this div carousel item active class, but I'm gonna remove something. I'm gonna make some changes. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this. I've copied it from here, and below here, let me paste it. Okay, so first of all, what I'm gonna do here, I just want to remove this active class first. Despite of having the time 10,000, I would like to go with 5000 milliseconds. So the database interval is gonna be 5000 milliseconds. Okay, and other things, what I'm thinking to change, let me check my images. So okay, I'm thinking to just to change some of the images here. In place of this image, let's use image 2, and image 2, then I'm gonna use here image 6, and here it should be image 5. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so cannot see anything, right? What we have to do just to see the things or to make it working, let's go and create another div. So here I am, and I'm gonna create another div, and here I would like to create that div. Not here, sorry, here. The div has to be here. Div class is gonna be raw, and let's create a button here. Button is gonna have a class of carousel control, sorry, carousel control previous, and type is gonna be button, and data bootstrap target is gonna be ID. We have to use an ID. The ID we have used before, so it's gonna be spelling of carousels. Carousel latest. Then data bootstrap slide. This is gonna be previous. Let's use a span element here, assigning it a class. Carousel control prev, and icon. And what we have to do is to get aria hidden. Aria hidden is gonna be true. Then we do need another span element, and assigning it a class. Not here, sorry, just a moment. And then here I need another span element, and this span element is gonna have a class of visuality, visually hidden, not visuality, visually hidden, and we should name it next. Okay, visually hidden means that on screen it cannot be, you cannot see this next. Then after this, what we have to do is we have to create another div, and this div is gonna have a class. This class is gonna be tab pen fade. Let's use an ID of nav popular, role is gonna be tab panel, and area labeled by Nav Popular tab. Then we have to use another div, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be carousel, and should have a slide. Then we have to use an ID. ID is gonna be carousel popular and popular. Then we have to say data bootstrap right, and again it's gonna be carousel. Let's have another div, assigning it a class. Again, carousel inner. The same we have to create for the popular images, okay? And then another div, assigning it a class. Carousel inner. Then we have to create another div, assigning it a class. Carousel item, and let's say active. Then we have to see data bs interval. Again, we're gonna use that 10,000 milliseconds. Let's use another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be raw, height would be 100, align items center, another div class column sm6, then call md4 and mb3, then md0. Okay, and then again another div, assigning it a class card bg black, and text gonna be white, p6 pb8, p6 pb8, and then we do need an image. Again, we need to declare the source. First of all, let's go with the class card image. Source is gonna be images. Let's use image 4, and alt. Then need another div. This div should have a class of card image overlay. Then again, I'm gonna use this effect class bg dark and gradient. bg dot gradient. Then we need to display flex, then flex column, reverse, and align items center. let's use heading 6 here, assigning it a class, text, danger, btn, outline, outline light, rounded pill, and let's 120 USD. Okay, then after let's have a heading 4, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be text, danger, btn, and btn outline. It's not danger, but it's outline. Sorry, it hasn't outline. My apologies. It has only a text, danger. And okay, so here we just name a brand even keel and save it. Move on to the browser. Okay, so we do have another image in the popular section. Okay, here is the latest. What happened? Popular, latest also have the same. What's going on? Need to fix the issue, no problem. Okay, so let's do this and then we are working on it. Okay, so the popular has one image. Now what I'm gonna do, I just want to copy and paste same as we have done previously. So let me do that. Okay, so for my convenience, let me have it. Okay, and for this, what I'm gonna do, let me get it. And where is the column? So we just need to copy this one from here, paste it here, and here in place of image 4, let's use, we check, do I have 7 images. So let's use image 2. Okay, and another one. So here another one, and here it's gonna be image 1. Save it and go back. Okay, so we do have 3 images here. We need some more. So for that, what I'm gonna do, let me go back, and I'm thinking to copy and paste the whole thing. And the whole thing is, so what I'm gonna do is, for my convenience, again, let me have it here, and it will be easy for you to understand what let me show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get another carousel, and that carousel starts from carousel item, and it's gonna say active, not at all. Okay, let me get it from here. So okay, let me copy, let me check, copy it, let me paste it here. And what I'm gonna do, I just wanna remove this BS interval and this active class, save it, and I would like to change the, if I change the brand name, okay, let it go with the same. Okay, so then after this, with the same images and everything, I've got it here. And after this, let's go with another div. So let's have another div here, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be raw. Then we have a button here, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be carousel control, again prev. Let's see, type is gonna be button, and we should go with data bootstrap target, and the target we are going to target now carousel popular, and then we have to go with data bootstrap slide, and again I should say next. Then we have to go with the span element. Hold on, let me delete this one, and within this button let's create a span element. This span element will go with a class. Class is gonna be carousel control means previous, and then after carousel control previous icon. Okay, and then we have to say aria is gonna be hidden, which is true. Then we need another span element, and we should say that the class is gonna be visually hidden, okay, cannot be seen, and previous. Okay, then after this let's have another button element, assigning it a class, and this class is gonna be control carousel control next. Type is gonna be button, data bootstrap target, have an ID of carousel popular, and you know what, let me wrap it here. Okay, then we have to say data bootstrap slide next, and again okay, after having this next slide, let's go with the span element. Span class is gonna be carousel control next, and next icon, and then we have to say aria hidden. Aria hidden is gonna be true, not false, sorry, true. And let's have another class that is visually hidden. So for that, let's say span class is gonna be visually hidden, and we should say next here. Save it. Now let's go back to the browser and see that how does it look and what it's. So we can see one button, but the other one cannot see. There must be an error here in this button. Let's go and find out. Okay, so let's find out the mistake. The first mistake. Okay, let's find out the mistake. So I have found a mistake here. This is okay. Now related to our problem, let's move on and let's see, because that issue, what I have noticed here, you can see, let me show you that here in the latest section, The issue is here. When I click on the popular, there isn't any issue. It has 2 icons, but here in the latest section there is only 1. Let me refresh it. So there is only 1. Let's go back, and we have seen, yep, here the problem is here. We have to have 2 buttons. We need 2 buttons. Okay, so what I've done, it's gonna be okay, and let's move on and search for that issue we have here. That would be, where is that? That could be here in, we have defined the button in the latest section. So nav and here, the problem could be here. You know what, let me copy this button, and let me paste it here, and in place of this previous, let's use the next and carousel latest, then carousel previous icon. In place of this previous icon, it's gonna be next icon, and here it's also gonna be next, and I think, I'm sure if we just created one link here, we didn't create another one, the icon. So yep, we do have here. So you can see it's working and it is here in the popular section. Yep. Now let's fix these issues, style these latest and popular buttons. So for this, like I want to style it seem like this. It has an underline and all these and all these effects. So for this, because it is not visible, we cannot read it. And text white, it has to be text danger. So let me go and let me check here. Okay, the problem is here. It's text danger. So let me copy this one. Hold on. Text danger, find, and replace. So let's replace it with text danger. Okay, save it. No need to save. We have to replace it from here. And another error, with double R. Let me change it. Sorry, because it's adding another R within that. So here is text danger and heading 4. So you guys find the mistake, the error I have made, so please fix it on your own because it will take too much time. I just mentioned that here it's a mistake, from a typo mistake from my side. So yep, text danger. Okay, only it is here in this popular section. Yep, it's only here in this section, so it was just a typo error. Please fix it. It's not a big issue. You guys can do, I'm sure. Okay, let's go and go to the main.css and start styling these nav tabs. So first of all, let's get this nav tabs border bottom -1 pixel, then sorry, border bottom is not -1 pixel. It's gonna be 1 pixel solid, and the color is gonna be gray. Let's keep it in close to white, not pure white. Then we have to go with the nav tabs and nav links. So nav tabs and nav link, margin bottom -1 pixel, background, it's only background, and background is gonna be none, border 1 pixel solid and transparent, border top left, not radius but only top left, is gonna be 0, border top left is gonna be 0. Okay, and after having this transparent, let's go with border top left radius. This is gonna be 0. Let's go with top right radius. So border top right radius is also gonna be 0. Then we have to go with nav tabs and nav link hover, and let's say nav tabs, it's a class, nav tabs and nav link focus, border color is gonna be F5 F5 F5, and F5 again, F5 F5, and then we need isolation. It's gonna be isolate. Then after this, let's use the nav tabs and nav link active class. So it's gonna be and hold on, active and nav tabs, nav item show, and nav link. Now here let's change the color. So the color is gonna be 757575. Background color, it's gonna be black. Border color is gonna be transparent. And now let's use the wine tabs. So border bottom is gonna be 0. Wine tabs, nav link hover, and wine tabs, nav link focus, border color transparent. Again, we're gonna use wine tabs and nav link active and wine tabs nav link nav item, sorry, nav item show and nav link border bottom and border bottom color. It's gonna be 757575. Now let's use let's save it and let me show you. Okay, so you guys can see that it's looking nice. Now we have to use the effect class for the images. So for that, let's use the effect class. Okay, effect class, and let's have a background RGB, and it's gonna be 0, 0, and 0. Then let's use background linear gradient background, and here we have to say linear gradient, and within this let's go with 0 degrees. Okay, 0 degree, and then we have to say RGBA 0, 0, 0, 1. Not RGBA, it's RGB, sorry. Okay, RGBA 0, 0, 0, 1, and let's say 0%. Then we do need another RGB. Hold on. We have to add a comma here, and RGBA. This RGBA is gonna be 0, 0, 0, and 0. Then we have to say 33.33%. And another RGBA, that would be 255 and 255, again 255, 1, and should say 66.66%. Then after we need again RGBA 255, 255, and 255, 0, and it's gonna be 99.99%. Okay, and so it's a background linear gradient. Yep, it should be here, it has to be here. Then after this we do need a 0 degree RGBA, and I think I've made a bit of a mistake. That mistake is that this 0 degree isn't okay, it is. Let me save it. Yep. Okay, so we have saved this one, and let's move on and go to the background size, and background size is gonna be 300% and 300%, and then background position 0% and 100%. Then we use transition is gonna be 0.5 seconds, Let's save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so you can see that the images were too shiny before, but adding all these effects and setting up it in CSS, it's looking nice. And the main thing, that the border was very visible before, the image border, and I don't want to have that one, so that's why we had this one, that it seems that it is engraved within the background or with the background. Okay, so let's move on and start working with this services section. Okay, so here we are in our editor. Let's go to the index.html and let's go down, and here let's add a services section, and end of this services section. For this, let's create a div, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be container fluid. Then we need to add a background class, and padding top and bottom is gonna be 5. Let's have another div. It has a class called raw. Justify content center, and it's gonna be justify content center. Another div, assigning it a class, column extra large is gonna be 10. Then another div, class and card, and then we are going to use card span, shadow just go with the shadow class. Okay, and I was thinking to give it a color, but leave it. Okay, then let's go with the style. Style is gonna have a border radius, and it's gonna be 35 pixels. Then we do need a card body, and for this let's have another div with a class of card body, padding top and bottom 5, card body. And then let's go with another div having a class of raw, then justify content evenly, let's have another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be column medium 3. Another div assigning it a class, and this is gonna be display flex, MD block, and for Excel flex, justify content evenly, and then again justify content LG between. Let's have a font awesome icon class, FESFA tags, and I want it to be 3 times bigger than its actual size, text, the color is gonna be danger. Then we need another div, assigning it a class, display flex, display LG block, and DXL flex, and then flex center, heading 2, heavy class, font weight bolder, and text gonna be 1000, margin bottom 0, text danger. Here we're gonna say daily discounts. Save it, and let's move on to the browser first. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we have this here. You guys can see I like this bottom part of this image section. And okay, we have this daily discount here. Now let's go and work with the other one. So the other one is gonna be, let's have a div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be call md3, then hr horizontally vertical, and then we need another div, assigning it a class, display flex, and md block, display extra large, and flex. Justify content evenly, and it's not gonna be in large, but it's gonna be justify content evenly. And then we need justify content large between, not md. Let me write it here. Justify justify content LG between. Okay, then after this, let's go with the semicolon class, FAS, FA font alt, and FE 3 times bigger, and then text is gonna be danger. Okay, let's have another div here, assigning it a class, display flex, and display LG block, and display extra large flex center, h2, assigning it a class, and font weight again bolder, text gonna be 1000, mb0, text danger, have to say available on call. Save it. Okay, so it's here. Now for the third one, what I'm gonna do, let me copy and paste it. Okay, so just for the convenience, not to mess with anything else, copy this. I want to paste it here, and in place of this font alt, let me change the icon, and here the icon is gonna be truck, it's a truck, and here let's say quick delivery. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so here we are. Now what we have to do, let's just change this background, white background, to black, and for this let's go to the main.css, and here we do have a card class, and we should say background color, and we have to say RGBA, and it should be 0.2. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so it's looking cool. Now let's finish this today's offer section, and after having this offer we have this footer section. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna give the code in the link, code link in the description below. If you guys need a code, you can get it from the description. Okay, so here we are, and after having this one, let me remove these extra spaces from here. Here, let's say offers section, and end of the offers section. Okay, so here in the offers section, what we have to do first, let's create a section element. In the section element, let's have a class of background, and is for the black background. Then within this, let's have a div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be container. It's just a container. Void is also okay, but I'm just gonna go with a container. Then div assigning it a class, raw, and 100, each 100. Then we have another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be called LG7 MX Auto Text Center MB6. Then we need H2. Class is gonna be the font weight of only bold, font size 3. Then for LG large devices, it will be large would be 5, LHSM, and MB3, MT5, and text gonna be white. Here we just need to write today's offer. Then after this, let's save it, and okay, continue div, and we need another div also. Yep. Okay, so now our divs are complete. Now after that, let's create another div assigning it a class. This class is gonna be raw, and gx2. Then we need a div assigning it a class, column sm6, and then column medium 4, column lg3, and each is gonna be height is gonna be 100, margin bottom is gonna be 5. Within this div, let's create another div assigning it a class, This class is gonna be card, and card span each 100. Text gonna be white and rounded 3. Let's use a image here, and we should say image image heavy class. Image class is gonna be image fluid to keep it responsive, and let's say rounded 3. The border of the image height is gonna be 100, and then let's use the source. Image source is images and image2.jpg, and then after this, let's define another div. It has a class. This class of div is gonna be card image overlay and ps0. Then we have to say that let's have a span. Class of span is gonna be badge, and badge is gonna be, background is gonna be danger, p2, and it's3. And let's define the badge here, and it's gonna be fa tag me2 fs0 me2 fs0, and let's have another span element, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be fs0, and we have to say it is fs, not fa, fs0. And then let's say 20% discount and 20% off. Okay, let's save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so you can see that we do have an image here. Okay, now the next is I just want to copy and paste it, and we'll change the images only. Okay, so for this, for changing this one, for this what we have to do, let's copy and paste it. So just for the convenience, let me have it here, and let me check how many images do we have here. Okay, 4, so I need 4 images. And for this, let me copy the code from this div. Okay, I wanna copy this one, and it's gonna be, I have to copy the whole div. So let me copy this div. Okay, copy, paste, save it, let's check. Okay, and another one, and another one, save it, let's check. Okay, so that just need to change the images. This is gonna be image 6 and image 5. Then we have to go with image 3, and I don't want this image 2 here. Let's go with image 4. And okay, so here we have done with our today's offer section. Okay, now let's go back, and here we have this footer section. This is the final section. we are going to work with. So here at the end, I'm not going to define any kind of section or comment for this. So let's go and start working with the footer section. So for footer, I would like to go with the footer element, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be background, pt margin, padding top is gonna be 4. Then we do need, okay, and let's have a div, assigning it a class, and it's gonna be container. Let's have another div, within this. Okay, let's have another div, assigning it a class. This div is gonna be raw, and padding y will be 4. Then let's have another div, assigning it a class, call lg3, and then call 12 align left. Let's go with a link class, and we say Nav Bar brand and href. And then let's go with the font awesome icon class. It's gonna be FAS FA wine bottle, and FA 2 times bigger than its actual size, and text gonna be danger. And then after this, let's have a span element. Span, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be text white, because the bottle is red, so that's why I just change it a bit here. Wine, and then let's have another span element. Class is gonna be text danger, heading 3, semi-bold, and 600. Okay, and then let's say shop. Then after this, we have to go with a p element, assigning it a class. First of all, let me save it and show you what's going on. Okay, so here, okay, so bottle and title of the web. Okay, then after this, we have to go with the text, and text is gonna be light LG 4, and margin top and bottom 2. Let's go with some lorem ipsum. Okay, then after this p, let's have a unordered list, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be list inline footer icons, and light is gonna be 300. Within this, let's go with the list item, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be list inline item, list inline item, margin 0. Let's have a link, assigning it a class. This is gonna be text light, and font awesome icon class. This is gonna be, let's use a brand, FA Facebook, and Facebook square, then FA 2 times bigger than its actual size. And what I'm gonna do, I just wanna copy this list inline so list inline item for a couple of times. So this should be for Instagram and this should be for YouTube. And for Instagram, I just need to change it to Instagram, and here it's gonna be WhatsApp, not YouTube. It's gonna be WhatsApp square. WhatsApp square. Okay, save it, move on to the browser. So here we have something about the shop and some text and the social icons. The next we need these useful links, about us, contact, and I'm gonna create this for also this copyright section altogether. Okay, so for this, what I'm gonna do next is, let me go to this, create another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be called LG3, and then call MD4, and then margin top and bottom on small devices gonna be 0, and margin top is gonna be 4. Let's have a heading 3 here. Heading 3 have a class of H4PBLG3, and text is gonna be light, then light 300, and here we have to see useful links. Then after, again, unordered list, class is gonna be list unstyled, and text is gonna be light, then light is gonna be 300, and after this let's have a list item. Class is gonna be PB2. Let's have a font awesome icon class where we have to define FAS, FA, chevron, right, and a link. Then a link is gonna be class with text decoration none, and text is gonna be light, and show we need a href, and here it has to be home. Now what I'm gonna do, I just want to copy and paste this link from here, and paste it for several times. Home, categories, shop, contact, and blah blah blah. So what I'm gonna do, the first one is gonna be home, this is gonna be categories, shop now, and this is gonna be services. This should be shop now, and this is gonna be contact. Save it, move on to the browser. Okay, so we do have these useful links here. Okay, now we need to go with about us and contact us. Okay, here we are, and for next, okay, then here let's have another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be column LG3, and call MD4, margin top and bottom is gonna be, and small devices is gonna be 0, margin top is gonna be 4, and H2, H2 heavy class of H4 PBLG3 PBLG3, and text is gonna be light. Light would be 300. Let's see about us, and then after let's have a p element, assigning it a class. Text gonna be white. Some lorem ipsum of 15 words. Okay, finish. Let's have another div, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be call lg3, call md4, and sm0 mt4. Okay, then h2 class is gonna be h4 pblg3, and text is gonna be light. Light would be 300. Here what we have to do is just say contact us, and then after this let's have a unordered list, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be list unstyled, and text light, and light is gonna be 300. So weight, defining the weight. Then we have to move on to list item, assigning it a class. This class is gonna be pb2, and then we need a font awesome icon class, and this class is gonna be FASFA PHYD font alt, and it's gonna be 2 times bigger than its actual size. Then we do need to have a link here, and link is gonna have a class of text decoration none, text decoration none. Then we need a text light, and padding top bottom white 1, and then we need a href. Here let's add a number, and sorry. Okay, then after this let's have an email, and it's gonna have a class of pb2. Again, I class pb, no need to add font or some icon, you guys can add it on your own. I just want to go with a link here, and the link is gonna be text decoration none. Then text is gonna be light, and padding top and bottom gonna be 1. Then of course each ref, and here I should go with the info@company.com. Okay, save it, move on to the browser. Okay, fine. For email, just add the email icon if you guys want. Now let's finish this and create this copyright section. So for this copyright section, here I'm gonna have a div, assigning it a class. This class is the width is gonna be 100 bg footer. I'm gonna use this in CSS, bg footer, and padding y is gonna be 3. Then we need to go with another div, assigning it a class. The class is gonna be container, and then we need another div, assigning it a class, raw, padding top 2, div, assigning it a class, call LG6, call SM12, and it's an error here. Okay, then we need a p element, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be text LG start, and then we have to say text center, text light is gonna be 300. We are not using these weights, but I'm telling you, it's just for your use in future. Okay, and then copyright text, and copyright text something, and then I'll write reserved, and then after we have to go with a div, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be column LG6, and then column SM12, and then after this, let's go with a p element, assigning it a class. Class is gonna be text LG end, and text center, text light, again light is gonna be 300. I'm using one font variation, that's why I don't have this one, but you guys can use this one. And here I should say designed by Lorem, designed by, and link here. बस अभी हो ही गया है. हाँ 2 मिनट सबर, बस सिर्फ 2 मिनट.
चलो guys, 2 minutes wait there outside.
Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, let's have a link here. The link is gonna be link, and link, and we should have a class. The class is gonna be text decoration none, and text light. Then we need to say, let's use the strong element. Here we should say lorem ipsum, and we have done with our footer. Let me show you. Okay, let's see. So here is the footer, and there is something like let's change this one, and then I'm gonna explain you what is that. It's BG footer, and the BG footer has a background color. The color is gonna be 2C5B. okay, save it, and here, okay, so here it looks prominent and it is looking nice. So here is our responsive Bootstrap 5 e-commerce web page. Let me show you the responsiveness of this one. So here we are, and let me show you. Okay, so is the nav bar is working, the toggle button is working. Here is the main slider, then the category section, shop now section, you can see latest and popular. Then we do have the services section here, offer section, footer. I hope that you guys like this one. If so, don't forget to subscribe the channel and hit the like button. I'll see you in the next project with another interesting build. So see you in the next one. Hasta la vista. Ciao ciao.